Hello, welcome to Covering Sports with Prince. And in this episode today, we're going to be speaking about the Liverpool manager, Arne Slot, his signings, the terrible form that they've been going through this season, and whether or not he should get the sack. Now, let's get into this. Now, me personally, my opinion on the whole Arne Slot and Liverpool situation, I wouldn't sack him. He led us to the Premier League title last year, and people forget he only suffered about 7 losses last season, one in the finals, EFL Cup finals against Newcastle, one against PSG in the Champions League, and one other team in the Champions League. I believe it was PSV because we played our second team, and 4 in the Premier League. So in saying that, he hasn't really gone through a bad spell. You know, managers go through their rough patch. We've seen it with Pep. We've seen it with Jose Mourinho. We've seen it with Mikel Arteta. We've seen it with Postecoglou. We've seen it with many managers. Even Claudio Ranieri, who was the Leicester manager, won the title with Leicester. Following season, they sacked him. So it is possible that Slot could get the sack. But for me, he hasn't had a rough patch as yet, and therefore need to give him a little bit of leadway for him to make those mistakes and bounce back. Where the issue lies now is the team. I think he should stop playing Zoblazar at right back. I know he can do the job, but he's trying to put too much players into the team to make them happy, and I think there's just been an imbalance with the signings. Me personally, I would have never signed Isaac after that first bid was rejected. And to how Ekitike started the season, I would have then thought to myself, okay, I'm going to have Ekitike as my main striker, and let's get another striker that can play across the front line, just like Jota did. Jota's a huge miss for Liverpool, RIP Jota. But he could do so many roles. He could score goals as a striker. He could play on the left. He could play on the right. And I really think that we needed to replace Jota. We didn't replace Jota, and we didn't replace Luis Diaz. So now there's a lot of load on Gakpo to play on that left-hand side. Now we have Wirtz playing on the left-hand side, which I believe is ridiculous. I wouldn't play Wirtz on the left side either, although he's had great games there. His standout game being against Real Madrid. But I wouldn't play him there. I don't think that that's his best position. And in saying that, Wirtz is a good signing, but it would have been a rotation between him and Zoblazar, because when we first signed Wirtz, I was kind of confused. I was thinking, okay, we have Gravenberch and McAllister as a pair, as a 2 in the middle, and then we have a cam. I was thinking Zoblazar would be that cam. Then we signed Wirtz. I said, okay, not a bad signing. But now Zoblazar surprised so much this season at cam, and he's been so effective, which he always has in my eyes. He's just underrated. Now, Arne Slot finds himself in a predicament. Now going on to the fullbacks at left back, I would have also went for Antoine Robinson at Fulham. I think he would have been better suited to Liverpool, but I could understand he's 28 years of age and Kirkers is much younger. You know, Bournemouth is a complete different team from Liverpool, so I understand the pressure that Kirkers might be under, and we need to take into account that Kirkers is only 21, 22 years of age, so he really has a lot of growing to do. I think because of his standout season last year at Bournemouth, everyone's expecting him to be this phenomenal left back for Liverpool, but he's still young. He's 21 years of age, and we need to maybe give him a season or two. So in saying that, Robertson lost some pace, but he has experience. He has the IQ of a left back. He has the awareness, and he has that partnership with Van Dijk. And mentioning Van Dijk, we didn't sign what we really needed to sign, which was a centre back. But we still have Joe Gomez, who hasn't really featured this season. Konate is not playing well. Don't be afraid to bring in Gomez, or put Gomez at the right back instead of keeping playing Zoblazar, because Frimpong, which I believe is a good signing, he's injured. There's a Conor Bradley there that can do the job, although he hasn't been the best this season. And also have a young right back in Scotland, Calvin Ramsey. So for Arne Slot, I don't think he's really handling the pressure well. Definitely not handling the pressure well. And he just needs to find his team. You know, there's 3 signings I believe Liverpool, or 4 signings I believe Liverpool needed this season. They got the right back in Frimpong. He's not a Trent on the ball, but he's explosive. He's very intense the way that he plays. I believe we needed a CDM. A CDM like a Fabinho, because McAllister, good player, intense as well, we can play well, but I think we needed a holding type of midfielder, right? A defensive mid, a traditional defensive mid. We needed a cam, we got Wirtz. But Wirtz is a start, he's not a backup, but I do believe that Wirtz is a good signing for Liverpool. We needed a centre-back. We needed to replace Luis Diaz. We needed an attacking player that can play on the left wing, up front and right wing, just as Jota did. And we had our striker in Ekitike. So for me, the fans need to get more behind Arne Slot and the team and go through this rough patch, because he hasn't had a rough patch as yet. I think what even makes it worse for Arne Slot is the amount of money he spent in a short period of time. I believe he probably spent more than Klopp did in his whole time at Liverpool. If not, he's not far off. But Arne Slot shouldn't get sacked. It would be unfair. He went to the semi-finals with PSG, lost, which I don't believe. Liverpool should have lost that game. And the team that beat them went on to win it. So that speaks volumes. Won the Premier League. Went to the EFL Cup finals. So they should give him time. They should give him time. And in saying that, thank you for tuning in to Covering Sports with Prince.